All right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everyone? It is Thursday. I know we're all have been waiting for this lovely day. So, this is a SOC makeover or SOC analyst makeover day. So, we have one lucky person who put in an application, was selected for the show, where we're going to try to give them an edge in the market, the very competitive space that is cybersecurity entry level roles. So before we get into that, and don't worry, I'll drop links to the application. So if you're interested, you can also put in. Feel free to ask questions as we go through this. But let's hit a couple of items up that are new. So I have done some updates this week to the new job listing site. And let me see if I can find the link for everyone. Here's the link. I'll put it in chat. So this is a really cool app that I put together. At least I think it's cool. And it's going to give you some information about the job market. So a lot of people are telling you all kind of things about the job market. That may or may not be true. But nothing beats facts and data. So that's what we got. What's up, 93 KSG? How's it going? But that's what this app is all about. And I'm going to share the screen. So let me move a few things around. And then I'm going to share it. Just give me a second, get my life straight here so everyone can see what we're talking about. Always all out of sorts here on InfosecWizard. So here we go. Here's the screen share. All right, here we go. Hopefully everyone can see it. So this is the app that I put together, and basically it compares the two primary entry level roles people are looking at. Yes, I know we have GRC as another good opportunity, and I'm happy to pull any other thing out to put in this as well. But yeah, this is it. So this has all of them. I think altogether we have, let's see, how many roles? So there's only 10 junior SOC analyst roles and 71 help desk roles. But this is also from only one job listing site. So I'm working on getting more data in. That's the next step. Let's get some data now that I have good data parsing. The data parsing was kind of the pain here. But anyways, check it out. See what you want. KSJ said a lot of CCNA there. Yeah, you're right. But it's only, so it's about 20%. So this is a 2 here. I should probably change because 2 out of 10. We got GCH, CYSA. But as I get more data in here, we're going to see some more certifications and whatnot. But the big thing here that I want to compare is that there really isn't much overlap between the help desk certifications, junior SOC analyst roles. And that's what I wanted to point out, that a lot of people are arguing this is a really great first step, and it can be for some people. But the argument is that you're going to learn a lot of what you need to in an IT focused role versus a security role. And that's not necessarily the case. And so that's what I wanted to bring out here. What skills do you actually need to know versus not know? But still working on this. um, but you'll see, and we'll get more things in here, and you'll see the skills that you actually that hiring managers are actually asking for, which is the key here. It's not me telling you, it's the job market. This is what they want. So you can refocus your studies around what people are actually looking for, so that we're not guessing. That's the whole point here. We want to have an educated, focused, educated pathway in our studies here. And then we have years of study. So one of the things I want you all to realize is that I made sure that whenever we pull these listings, it's got to be minimal experience. So anything with more than 2 years of experience, it's not listed in here. And I did that on purpose because we want true entry level. So that is what I'm reflecting here. True entry level, where they're saying, yes, I would hire someone brand new to the field or very early in their career. That's what we're doing here. And then we also have some degree requirements here. But before I move on, I want to show you one really, really cool thing that maybe some of you who have looked at this haven't seen yet. And that is the fact that you can actually go to these job listings yourself and go apply, which I think is a really cool facet. So, what I would do is if you're looking for a junior SOC role, apply the filter. and then go down here, select it, and then you can navigate to the site. So you can go right to the original job listing and go apply. So that's a really cool feature there for folks. That is a second benefit for you. What's up, Harem? Welcome back. Welcome back. We got some regulars in the audience tonight. Always happy to have y'all in here. Always asking good questions, bringing the enthusiasm. I was going to say spunk, but that was going to make me sound really really old, so I didn't want to say that. The enthusiasm to the podcast or live stream, not podcast. Today is a live stream. What the heck? Anyways, you can go in here and you can see how pull the data out and whatnot. But the job listing, that's the cool thing. So I'm trying to update this about every week, maybe every 2 weeks, whenever I remember. If you want new listings, let me know. But the repos also in my Git repository, so you can go in there and run it yourself. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so go check that out. Also tells you in here whether they are remote. That is one feature I'm trying to add now, is have it parse out whether it's remote or not. And I had it, and then something broke, and I'm bringing it back. Yeah, down here, the chart's not filled in. So I just fixed it. I haven't pushed the updates yet. So there you go. That's a really cool app. I drop this? It's the link is in the chat there. So definitely go check it out. If there's something else you would like to see in the data, let me know. As with everything in the InfosecWizard community, this is a community effort. So we are going to get better together. Let me know what you need. I can help facilitate it. Really, really cool stuff there. Other thing. Yeah, we all love remote, don't we? Um, the other big thing is that we are we're growing our community. I think since the last live stream, we've had like 20 people. So that's almost like a see, 20 people out of 100. That's what I guess that's 20% growth. Sorry, my dad's texting me. Cool. Trying to sell my RV. Sorry about that. All right, now I can focus. Yeah. So yeah, we're always growing. We're always working together. A lot of stuff, a lot of growing community. So keep coming in. Tell people, hey, this is a thing where people are actually willing to help. It blows my mind when people don't take me up on the free offer. Hey, I'm here to help. I've had several people reach out to me, DM me. It's a lot of people that don't. So please do. And we're trying to make it even more useful in the community too. I was chatting with some of the guys in here about, hey, how can I do a thing where I can do one-on-ones with like a random person every week? And so we're throwing ideas around. Um, One of the community members were like, well, how about we base it off of how productive and how much they contribute to the community, which is a really great idea. So we might do something like that. So I started actually building an app where it'll just spin a wheel and you'll have like a bigger section on the wheel if the more stuff you've done. So we'll play with that idea. Anyways, come to the community. I'm there. AJ, my podcast co-host, is there. We're here. We got lots of experience. We're trying to help you break in because we really absolutely want to do it. Everything's free of charge. We're not charging you anything to do this. So use us. Please, please do. We want to help you. And to segue off of that, one of the big projects for this year for me is Project Tier 1. So this week, I have started tracking everyone that is on the same pathway as our person is tonight, which is, hey, I've done all the basics, right? I've got my entry level certification. I've started studying SOC specific skills and I can't break in. And I've been trying for a while. Help me out, man. Help me out, Mike. What can I do? So I'm starting to track you. You will be part of Project Tier 1, which is just me trying to say, how many people can I help this year actually break in? So I'm trying to track it and then I can follow up. So if I tag you in there, I can follow up and you will be the ones that will be eligible for the one-on-ones. You'll be selected each week. So we'll probably do a random drawing or a selection starting next week, not this week, because I haven't finished the app yet. And we haven't finished discussing it in the community yet. But starting next week, if you are tagged Project Tier 1, you will be up for maybe being selected to just have a one-on-one. It won't be on the live stream. It'll just be you and me in a chat or in a audio or visual chat, just talking about what you need, how I can help you, and I'll be taking notes on everyone so I can remember what we spoke about, what we've done. And same, if I bring your resume up on the live stream, I will be reaching out on a regular basis too to make sure you have everything you need to be successful, that you don't need any more help, all those things, right? Here to help. Very cool stuff. So I wanted to make that announcement today to make sure everyone knows. Join, let people know. Someone's here to help you for free. He actually has experience, 10 years experience. I've done all kind of stuff. I want to make you successful. I want to continue stoking that passion that many of us have, and which is the whole reason we're here, because we love the stuff, we enjoy it, and we want to keep learning, stay on the journey. I want you to do that too. Cool. All right. That's it for announcements. Hello, everyone. We got quite a few people in the crowd. Today, we are doing a SOC analyst makeover. We have selected a very cool person named Bruno who has reached out. So, oh, I forgot one more thing, but that's okay. I'll talk about it at the end. So, really cool person that put in an application. So, let me pull that link so others can put in as well. Um, and I can read over them and we can get another person on next month. So here we go. Grabbing it right now, putting it in chat for everyone. The problem whenever I do this is I always lose my windows. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Ah, I know what I did with it. I pulled it out. Here we go. So here's the application. Put in an application. If you feel stuck, you want some help, put in an application. We'll do what we are doing today for you as well, if you are selected, of course. So as we get more and more applications, we'll come up with some kind of selection mechanism. Help me figure that out in the community. But anyways, so here's the story. So Bruno put in his application. He's got his degree. He's been studying. He's got his basic certifications. We'll see his resume in a second. And he's been working at it for about 3 months, right? So very, very much like many of you out there. And his biggest obstacle is he just isn't getting any interviews. Again, that should resonate with many of you out there. You're doing all the right things, right? And you're just not getting any interviews. No one's giving you a shot. So hopefully we can help Bruno out this evening. And then he says, why should he be selected? Well, he said he has his BTL1, which is Blue Team Level 1 for those who haven't heard of it, his Security Plus, and he is a computer science graduate struggling to land an interview. Can you help me find what's missing? Yes, Bruno, we're going to help you out. And then I just posted his Try Hack Me link here so he can look at what he's been studying. All right. So we're going to start with his resume. We're going to critique it, and then we're going to rebuild the resume for him. And then we're going to come up, before we get off of this today, we're going to come up with a game plan for Bruno so that he can start working to overcome these obstacles, start getting a little bit of traction, and hopefully overcome some of that frustration that he's feeling today. That is the key here. All right, so let's pull it up. So, hello from the US. Bruno's over in Portugal, one of our international folks. All right, so his summary here: developer pivoting into cybersecurity, bringing the same technical rigor to incident response as to debugging code. Computer science background, backed by hands-on validation through CompTIA Security Plus Blue Team Level 1, bridging secure software architecture and real-time threat hunting, and then focused on applying automation scripting expertise in a SOC environment to proactively hunt threats rather than simply react. I will say this is probably one of the better summaries that I've seen, but still not where we need to be, but definitely one of the better ones. Some of the things I really did like is that he kind of conveyed, hey, I want to apply some of the same things I learned in computer science field to incident response. Great. I love hearing that. And he also he also brought out the two certifications that he has. So he has the two things that we've recommended people do, which is get a theoretical one, Security Plus, and then get a hands-on certification, which is Blue Team Level 1. So he's done two very important things, which is you got certifications. Now, let's see what the rest of his resume looks like, um, and if there's anything in here that may be off-putting for people or whatever it may be. Okay, so one of the things I see here off the bat with certifications are these links. I would certainly remove these. And the reason why is it could be causing issues with the ATS systems. And boy, are the ATS systems are foe out there, right? It doesn't take much to piss them off, and it will cause our resume to go in the trash. So we don't want to do that. We want to get rid of them. In chat, KSJ says Security Plus, the ultimate HR door opener. Potentially, but it's not working for Bruno here. So let's see if we can figure out why. It should do a good job, but yeah, we'll see what else is going on. I haven't done a deep dive in this also, by the way. So I'm looking at this with mostly fresh eyes. I'd say like 95% fresh eyes. I glanced at it because I wanted to see if I had any questions for Bruno before the show because it's like midnight over in Portugal right now. So he's probably sleeping. If you're on here, hi Bruno, say hello in chat, please. Projects. Let's take a peek. Is CCNA 1, is this just a class or what is this? Does anyone know? I've heard of like the CCNA, we saw it in there. Is officially known as Introduction to Networks, is the first course in the three-part. See, okay, so this is a course. Okay, got it. So this isn't a certification. You have it listed here under certification, so maybe it isn't certification. So we'll come back to this. Maybe we do a training section and add some training here. All right, so let's look at projects, cybersecurity, home lab, defense and monitoring. Okay, so deployed a virtualized SOC environment integrating Waza SIM with hardened Windows Active Directory server monitoring real-time threats such as brute force attacks and credential threat. This is a very not so great bullet for you. Because it really doesn't say a lot about the SOC skills, right? You deployed something that's engineering, that's IT. It says to monitor, but it doesn't talk about the things you're doing to actually monitor. Are you building rule sets, which is a good thing that you may do in the SOC? Have you ingested a bunch of fake data or training data that you've done stuff with? You haven't really said anything specific to the SOC. So these are things the SOC may use, but as a SOC analyst, you're not doing these things generally. The second bullet here says configured sysmon and advanced auditing policies for deep log analysis using Kali Linux to validate detection capabilities against known attack vectors. So, one configured sysmon, not a great bullet, right? If you download a Swift in security and just utilize his basic configuration, you're not really doing a lot there. You just pulled someone else's project, right? But you don't really talk about this stuff either. Are you just enabling specific logs? Again, even if you did that, this isn't SOC specific. This is engineering, IT administrator. And then using Kali Linux to validate detection capabilities against known attack vectors. This could be really good, like a really, really good bullet, depending on how you did it, right? And I would be even more verbose, more descriptive, right? Did you have like a subset of threat actors that you're mimicking, like do an adversarial emulation? Great bullet. I would agree with that because that's like purple teaming type stuff. Really good, more advanced than a normal SOC analyst. And if you're not only attacking, but you're also looking, that's a really cool thing to demonstrate. So, something to think about there. Maybe break this down into its own project. The adversary emulation project could be really good, could be a separator for you, and talk about that too in your summary, depending on how in depth you went, right? Taking a pause here. What's up, KL Small? You made it. At least for a little while. Happy to have you on here as always. And KSJ says, this made me remember that LinkedIn post in which you mentioned SOC analyst versus cybersecurity engineer oriented descriptions. Yeah. And this is crazy. I need to do a blog on it or something, or even a video where a lot of you, it's not even a lot of you, almost every resume that I get, you're doing IT administrator stuff or cybersecurity engineering. As a hiring manager in the SOC, I want to know if you can do SOC specific skills. These aren't SOC specific skills. The only reason I said the Kali Linux one is a really good one, if you're attacking and defending, that means you actually know the adversary, the things you're hunting in the logs. And that is a very powerful skill, more so than, hey, can you configure sysmon? I don't care if you can do that. I don't care. It's not going to help you do a better job. If you know what's in a sysmon log, right? Can you filter? Can you analyze with sysmon logs? That I care about. So different things. So KSJ, totally, totally right there. I'm very passionate. There's a lot. Actually, what's funny is there was a lot of pushback on that one. But you know, whatever. I believe what I believe, and I believe if you're going to be serious, if you're going to be competitive nowadays, you got to demonstrate the skills that you need in the actual job you're looking for. Why am I going to hire a plumber if I need a carpenter and vice versa, right? So just keep that in mind. Especially too, and I want to point this out, I don't know if I've said this before, if you are trying to land those remote gigs, someone mentioned remote earlier today, you have to be extremely competitive as well. You're not going to win out on a remote role if you're not competitive, if you're not demonstrating those skills clearly. One, because if it's an on-site or hybrid role, you have a much smaller footprint you're competing against, right? You could be competing against just everyone near the city of Atlanta, just to throw it up a city there, versus everyone in the world or everyone in the US. So when there's a bigger pool of candidates, it's a lot tougher to get those roles. Just basic logic there. So yeah, for everyone listening right now, everyone watching this later, as you're planning out your journey, your learning path, you need to focus those things on the job. And so that resource I'm sharing and that resource I'm developing with the guys and gals in the community is going to help you better understand what the market is looking for, and we're going to orient our resume around those things and also around what you actually do on the job, because that's what they're hiring you for. This is, a lot of people don't realize this. When a hiring manager is looking at you, they're saying, how hard is it going to be for me to get this person job ready? How hard compared to this person, compared to this person, compared to this person? If you are a lot lower, they think they're going to be able to train you much quicker. You're probably going to be getting the job. That's kind of the idea there. Um, and KSJ says remote, less supervision. You need to be able to perform effectively with efficiency. Yeah. One of the really problematic things as a more senior person when we're talking about new people in general and new people who are remote as well, but just new people in general, is how much interruption they are in your normal day to day. Because a lot of you folks, when you start out, right, you're nervous, you don't want to make a mistake, you don't know what to do, you don't know the environment. There's so much time a more senior, mid plus person they have to devote to you to get you job ready. So that's another reason why they look at you and say, how hard is it going to be? Because you're going to be interrupting my more senior people who are much more effective than you. So you're taking away from their time of doing impactful things because we hired you. So very, very interesting. Yes, less supervision. Being a self starter is huge. So when they see you, I mean, that's another signal, right? When they see you doing all this self study, all these things in your spare time, they're like, oh, they require less supervision. They're a self starter. Perfect. That's what we need for our crew here, is someone who is just like that. All right. So let's keep chugging down these projects. That was a big segue, but hopefully that insight was a little bit helpful. Welcome everyone who is just joining us. Say hello in chat, all those fun things. If you haven't been here before, we do now. I guess starting a few weeks ago, we started doing a new theme every week. So make sure you subscribe, join the community as well, and where you can hang out with us every day of the week. All right, so we got bachelor's degree, final project, developed a web platform helping students manage their time, study more effectively, featuring a smart Pomodoro timer. Hopefully, I said that right, with face detection to maintain focus. That's kind of cool. Built in face detection, built task management, flashcards, quizzes with flashcard and quiz content generated using AI. Not a great project for this. So what I'm trying. So why I was about to just do this and erase it, but I'm thinking, right? A lot of times they want to know if you have done any scripting. So we may leave this in here, but only leave like one bullet. And we'll use my AI tool that orients these resumes a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be bad. I would do one bullet on this though, because we just want to show that they have dev skills, but maybe we don't even care because they have a degree in computer science, which does all the explanation for them. So yeah, okay, we could take this out and save space for training. How about that? Let's do. I wonder how you make a copy of this in here. There we go, like that. All right, so we'll do training. Oh, it ruins it if I. Oh no, the line's in there. Okay. I was like, where is this long line under here? I'll leave the funky formatting to you because I actually translated a. He sent me a PDF and I just had AI turn it into a document so that we could edit it. All right, so let's keep going down here and see what else we have here that is particularly useful. Skills, let's fix that. Incident response, threat hunting, Splunk, SIM, digital forensics, autopsy, network traffic analysis, Wireshark, phishing analysis, network security, Windows event logs. Okay, not too bad. We could make some changes here in that we could just do the tools separately if you want. As always with the skills, so this is very important for you, Bruno, and everyone else in here. You want the skills to be pretty in line with the job listing you're applying for. So your skills, they should change for pretty much every resume you put in, every application you do, the skills should change. And the reason we want to use the skills and we want to tune them is because this is basically your keyword matching, right? You should have most of these somewhere in your resume or have talked to them somewhere, right? They shouldn't just be in here if we don't have them connected anywhere, really. But what these are doing, they're helping you have a stronger match to the things that they're looking for with the job description. So they have that ATS system that's saying, do they actually have these skills? And if you're using the items that they're actually asking for, right? If they're saying Elastic versus Splunk, you would put Elastic in here. Maybe if you're more familiar with Splunk, you put Splunk in here too. But you want to make sure those things that they're actually looking for are reflected in your resume, or you're doing yourself an injustice. This is like one of the easiest things you can do as an applicant to have a higher chance of being looked at as an applicant. Okay. Very, very easy fix. If you're not doing it, do it. Make your resume count. You should be spending, again, every resume should be different. There should be a lot of commonalities, but they should be shaped for each job individually because everyone's asking for different stuff. All right, so next we have development, Python, Java, SQL, MongoDB, React, REST APIs, software architecture, automation, scripting. So I won't read the operating systems, but this is fine. We can add more depending on the job listing, right? But this isn't bad. And the reason why I would leave these in here is because a lot of SOC managers like to know if their people have dev skills. And I will tell you, some of the most impactful players I have had on my teams were previous devs or did a lot of dev work on the side because they were always building dashboards and tools for my team. So, very cool. Not saying everyone has to go out there and do this. I'm just saying if you have it, put it in the resume because you can be, it'll give you a bump. Okay. Yeah, KSJ says 10 tailored applications are better than 50 mindless. Yeah, so a lot of you out there, and I've seen it in a lot of places where you're just dumping your resume into every job listing out there. Even if they're asking for 10 years of experience, you're putting your resume out there hoping they're not going to call you. They're not going to call you. Um, and there's a lot of content creators out there, a lot of influencers telling you just put it in there. You never know. you need to be surgical with these things. Spend time, especially on the ones that you are more in alignment with. And honestly, if they're asking for more than 5 years of experience, I probably wouldn't even bother. Especially if you're coming in pure entry level, you have zero experience, zero real world experience in IT or anything. Don't even do it. But when you're talking about 0 to 3 years, sure, go for it. But do exactly what we're saying, tailor it, make sure it is applicable. I would rather you spend less time putting in applications, right? And making sure you're putting them in where they're count, where you have a high chance of getting a callback, and spend the rest of your time studying and building stuff, because that time's not being wasted. If you're studying and building stuff, that stuff should all be applicable to your resume, and it should be building your resume up, building your qualifications up. So as you're adding more to your resume, as you're learning more, you're becoming a better, more competitive candidate out there for the SOC. So you're losing a bunch of time by throwing in 50, 100 resumes a week, and it's killing you. You should be instead investing in your skill set, investing in projects so that they're more likely to give you a call back. Just saying. Okay. So last one is he's just a sales associate. It's not applicable. He put it down at the bottom. So I think that was a smart move there. Education is down here. So we have bachelor's in computer science. So, all right. So let's see if we can't reframe this whatsoever, or frame it a little bit better. So let's see where we're going to start. Let's first look at his try hack me really quick and see what we can pull from that. How about that? Let me pull his link here, and I'll make sure to add you as well so I can track your progress later on. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, I see we got quite a few people watching currently. Hello. Say hello in chat. Do not be shy. Please do not be shy. We are here to help. I'm going to stop sharing so I can put in my credentials. I don't like you shoulder surfing people. Don't like it. Don't like it. That's okay. We are coming back. Here we go. Yep. Say hello. Don't be shy. Ask some questions. We are doing a little bit of rehab here. So let's see what he's got here. So we'll go through the high level stuff. So no certs, but we know he has blue team level 1, which is a really good one. All right. So we don't really care about badges. We want to see what type of rooms. So we have autopsy. So that's cool. We have some Windows forensics. We have some Wireshark here, investigating with Splunk. A lot of really basic skills here, a lot of Splunk stuff. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. He's done some triaging. Good stuff. All right. Some basics. I think these are all from the SOC level 1 course for the most part, if I remember correctly. So some decent stuff here. He's going through phishing. Phishing is going to be one of the first sections in my free course. Oh, that's what I meant to do earlier. Yeah, we have a free course I am releasing, trying to do at least two videos and lessons a week. We've gotten 2 down so far. I haven't done any this week yet. I've been busy interviewing myself, but I will get 2 in this week. I promise you'll get 2. Make sure, so there's in the community, we're putting the coursework in there so you can get in there and answer, give it your best shot. And we'll switch it up. We'll add some different ones over time as we go through the program, just to keep people thinking about stuff. We've had some really good interactions actually as well. So keep an eye out for the course. It's on YouTube. You'll see it as the Zero to SOC Analyst playlist. So check that out. What's up, Elle? Elle says hello in chat. And KSJ says no mention of LinkedIn. I know we don't like it, but so I took his LinkedIn out of here. He actually does have a LinkedIn. I just didn't want to blast him on here. I don't know if I asked if I could share his LinkedIn on the screen, so I did not. Maybe in the future ones, we'll chat and see if they feel okay if we do a roast on their LinkedIn as well. Um, okay, so we got some basic stuff here, not bad. Just off the rip, looking at this, one of the things I would suggest right now would be to do one of the entry level offensive or like the pen testing routes. And it sounds like you already kind of like doing that stuff with this here. So I would add that in here because having a little offensive perspective always strengthens you as an analyst. That has been my competitive advantage, that I have both areas of expertise, and it actually helps me investigate better because I can track the threat actors through a network a lot easier because of that experience. So it's a really good one to have. It's something I think would help make your resume pop a little bit better. So something to think about. Oh, another thing I wouldn't do is put these over here. I would test them first. I don't know if this is jacking anything up, but it may be. Having the dates over here, the ATS system may chew that up. And if it does, just change the way you're doing them. So check it. Easiest way I tell people to do it is to put it into an ATS system. So put it into like where they say fill out the application using your resume. That's the one of these systems parsing it, trying to figure out what data goes where. If it chews something up and doesn't do it correctly, your resume is going to struggle in the ATS system. So, but if they have a very verbose application system, they're probably likely to lean on that to figure out whether or not you are a good candidate, which sucks because then your projects and stuff don't matter unless they look at your resume because they sure as heck, I've never seen a project thing in there, but I have seen portfolio links, GitHub links, LinkedIn links. So that's a good place where you can show all that stuff off, by the way. Yeah, Bruno has been on the grind. So hopefully we can get him set up here. All right, so let's do some editing here. Let's get rid of this. We don't care about your deep log analysis. Sorry, bud. Unless you do something cool with it. So do something cool with your deep log analysis. Actually, um, tell us what it is. Not just that I did analysis. Doesn't really help. Doesn't really sparkle any, right? Um, it's like saying you played baseball, but if you sat on the bench while you played baseball, you must not be very good, right? You just sat on the bench the whole time. But if you played first string pitcher all the time or outfielder or whatever, you have a lot more experience. So there's a big difference of have you just touched it or have you done a lot with it? Where if I put you right now in Splunk, can you filter? Like, can you use the query language appropriately? Can you find the data I'm asking for? Things like that. All right, uses are used. I'm just putting some short ones in here so that we're breaking it up so you can do some stuff. Use Kali Linux to validate detection capabilities against known attack vectors. Talk about how you selected attacks, what attacks, how you investigated, etc. So the key here with any of these home labs, any projects you're doing, they need to clearly demonstrate and tell the story of your growth in your skill set. What skills are you honing here? And talk deeply about the core skills. No one cares that you just touched a sim, but they care if you can build dashboards. They care if you can build rules. They care if you can filter and actually search and do things like that. That's what they care about. That's what we want to demonstrate. Let's see what he said. I like what AJ mentioned about APR. I believe it was for bullet writing. Can you clarify? I forget what AJ said because he tells me all kind of random stuff and he sends me like 50 messages a day. Hello, AJ, if you're in the audience today. He does. We text back and forth all day long. Okay, cool. So let's see if I can pull up my other tool here. Let's throw this new resume into my my skill tool and see if we can get something cool out of it. Let me do a little bit of modification here. Resume builder. So, oh, it's running all this stuff over here. Hopefully it's done. All right, so we'll stop sharing. I'm going to copy this and then I will do a screen share so you can see Codex really quick. I'm just going to copy it like this and we'll do a screen share really quick. So this is a tool. So actually, not just a tool, it's a skill that was created specifically for you guys. So I have one, I use it. This one's tuned slightly different for entry level people. Um, but it should give us something good here for Bruno. So this is someone else's resume. Help me make it more attractive to hiring managers. I should just do whisper mode here, but whatever. Ask me any questions you need to. All right, let's see what it does. So, yeah, so let me talk about the skill really quick. So, what it does is I use it to shape the resume for the job listing. So, typically, what I do is I'll drop the job listing in there and it has a master resume of mine. So, it's huge. It's like probably 14 or 15 pages of everything that I've done. And as I'm looking at new job applications, I was like, oh, yeah, I've done that. And then I'll add it to it. But it's always growing with stuff I do. And so when it's doing its thing, what it'll do is it will grab whatever's appropriate from my master resume and create a surgically tuned, to use a fun word, right? Surgically tuned resume for that job listing. And it works pretty darn good, I think. I have a pretty good rate. I mean, like everyone, not everyone's going to call you back, but I get interviews every week. So, um, and they're for competitive roles. So it absolutely works. But it just helps streamline. So you're not manually doing it for each one. Because if you had to manually redo your resume for even like 10 job applications, you're talking about hours and hours on end. And we don't want to do that. We want to be efficient so we can spend more time studying and doing impactful activities. Ah, KSJ said he meant he was talking about action impact result. Yep. I would just be careful with the action impact result and don't get too corporate with it. He's from corporate America like me. Um, we just want to show, yes, you can do action impact and all that stuff, but we want to show again that you have acquired a skill, you've developed a skill, you've fine-tuned a skill that they're looking for at a job. While that's doing this, it's taken a second, a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, but we'll give it a second. I want to go back over here. And what we can do while it's doing its thing is we can look at one of the jobs in here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pop over here to the listings. We're going to look at these. ECS, so this is probably a government contract. That's what it looks like. So responsibilities, develop, implement, tune, analytic rules. So this looks like a detection engineer one here. Correlate data from multiple security user activity sources, support triage, investigations, evidence. So this is telling you the type of things that you're going to be doing. And we want to demonstrate that we can do these types of things. I wouldn't focus so much on the soft skills with these. I'd focus more on the hard technical skills, which are much, much more difficult to build and to teach in general. This one seems like a more, it missed it. It says 3 plus. So I got a parsing issue. I need to fix that parsing issue. You slept through, buddy. I think it was just using the title to categorize it. Let's check this one out here. All right, let's see. Monitor, identify, validate security events in a SIM. Let's see what else we have. Recon, we don't really care about that. You can't really train to this stuff. Sentinel, so they specify a very specific one. Let's see what else. Follow established processes, blah, blah, blah. Work with cloud technology. So they're looking for clouds, a little bit of cloud stuff here. 1+ years of experience in incident response. So this would be one I would still apply to, even if you didn't have 1 to 2. We can show them with other things, but gets you a little bit closer. Experience with platforms like Sentinel, Splunk, Sumo Logic, so Splunk. So we could probably actually use this job listing as an example for it to build the resume around. This is a good one. Is it done yet? Let's see. All right, so let me stop sharing. We'll go back to this and we'll put this in here. Put the job listing in here in a second, but I want to show you what it got on the first pass because it's pretty interesting. All right, here we go. All right, hello if you're just joining us. Just want to say hello, hello, hello. All right, so this is what we have so far. And what it's done is it's just reorganized it. This is like a markup style. It can create a docx, but it does it this way. And we just refine the language before it does the final version. That's why it does it this way. Just in case you're wondering. Let's see. Computer science graduate building, blue team career level. Blue team career through hands-on practice, not coursework alone. Earn CompTIA Security Plus, hands-on blue team level 1 certification. Then build a home SOC environment pairing Wazoo SIM with hardened Windows Active Directory domain to detect and investigate alerts. Brings Python, blah, blah, blah. So as you can tell, like the summary's changed just a little bit. And we can strengthen it even more in a second. But it's also asked some clarifying questions here. The lab in detail, exactly the gap those leftover notes pointed out. Which attacks did he actually run? Blah, blah, blah. When the alert fired, what did the investigation look like? Does Bruno have actual development work, internships, freelance? So it's asking very specific things here. And that's kind of the cool thing here. It's telling you what would improve it. Never rely on a resume. Definitely don't encourage you to do that. But this can give you ideas to be like, oh, I forgot to put that in there. Oh, I do have this. So it definitely helps there. Has he done try hack me? Let's defend. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what we're going to do, I wish I could export all the try hack me things, but we'll see. I might be able to build a parser for that. So that might be one of my next projects, actually. We got a fun comment in chat. Welcome, Lex. Keeping it lighthearted in chat. Let's see. So we're going to say tune or refine the resume for this role. And I'm going to put in here, Bruno has completed, how many rooms do we think he completed? We'd say it's what, 16 per page? What's 16 times 4? Does anyone know off the top of their head? My brain's not working. 16 times 4. 64. I beat you. I beat you. All right. So let's go back here. Bruno has completed 64 rooms on THM, mostly around intro SOC analyst skills. All right, so it's going to do its thing again. And what we're going to do, we're going to let it run through and try to update the resume one more time. And then we're going to focus on the summary itself. And so what I tell it is I want a show-stopping summary, right? When you read someone's summary, it should stop you in your tracks and say, and help them visualize you can do the role that you're applying for. If I can't read this and think, oh, this person is a really good fit for the role, it may prevent me from really taking the rest of the resume seriously. So I encourage everyone to do a summary. I know a lot of you don't like to do them, but I really encourage you to do it. This is your elevator pitch. This is your pitch to say, hey, take the rest of my resume serious. These are the things, and this is why I think all the activities I've done thus far make me ready for this job. Okay. So do it, but do it well. Don't sleep on the summary section. It is a really good place to help you stand out as a practitioner. All right. So it's doing some stuff, still working through here. Um, yeah, the big thing, what I'll end up working with Bruno on the side with is helping refine some of these projects and seeing what else he's done. And then what we'll probably also do is see if we can't beef this up here as well. But he's got some really good stuff going on. He's got some great certifications. I think we can get him people to start taking him or start taking him serious, or getting interested when he does apply. We can definitely start doing that. I wish he was in the US. It'd be a lot easier for me to help him out. But that's okay. We'll help him out. Yes. Yes, you can. So one of the fun things about Claude was originally it was a Codex one and I translated it to Claude, but you can just take it and say, translate this for Codex or ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT just made it where you could utilize skills in the web application. So yes, just have it translate it for you. So let's see what it says about here about this. So JD's job signal map. So it's doing some fun stuff up here. And gap. So it's telling you like blank, hey, you only have lab, THM only, labeled honestly. Good. That's what we want to see. Network attack, counterintelligence, LE integration gap. Frankly, unrealistic at the salary band. Unrealistic at the salary band, but most applicants won't have it. So that's pretty funny. It's calling out the job listing. Let's see what else here. Partial, Splunk. So yeah, great. CS degree, lab build, decade of retail customer communication. So look, it's applying his retail stuff to it. Urgency, stated target and summary, security plus CNA 1 in progress. So I think it misunderstood what he was saying about CCNA. Oh, because he's got 3. Okay, yep, makes sense. Gap, C, coaching, note below. Okay, so let's see what it has so far. Computer science graduate targeting a 24/7 SOC seat with hands-on practice, monitoring, validating, investigating security events across a home sim lab, certification labs, and 64 TriHackMe rooms focused on SOC analyst fundamentals. Earn CompTIA Security Plus and the hands-on Blue Team Level 1 certification, working alerts in Splunk, analyzing traffic in Wireshark, and running phishing and incident response investigations end to end. Built a Waza SIM environment with a hardened Active Directory domain validating its detections with simulated brute force and credential theft attack. I think it's made some stuff up here, but that's okay. We'll fix that. Brings a decade of direct customer sales experience to client facing side. So I don't like this last part. So we can coax it here. Looks like you made up some facts in the summary. Let's keep it true. Also, we want the summary to pop and be an eye catcher. Let's focus on that first and get it dialed in. It should show Bruno has developed many of these skills and is ready to apply them in the real world. Also, mention his dev background and how it can be useful to the SOC. with dashboards in tool building. Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. But I spend a lot of time really honing in the summary. Again, it's your elevator pitch, and it's why so many salespeople they will spend so much time just practicing. If they're in their car on the way to a networking event, they're practicing that elevator pitch. I want people to sit here and talk to me and be interested in me. That's what you're doing here. Practice, practice, practice. Dial the sucker in because it's doing the talking for you when you're not in the room. So we really want to make sure it's saying good things about us and it 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 makes the hiring managers interested. Okay. So while this is working as well, we'll give it 15 seconds, but one of the other things I want to leave here with is to talk through what I would recommend for him besides just tuning his resume a little bit more. And again, like I said, I'm gonna work with Bruno after this, and we're gonna tune this a little bit better. I'm gonna ask him some follow up questions, get some more details about the labs, and see if we can't fill that out a bit more. And then we're going to give him a path so he can keep studying, keep developing his skills that are very, very valuable and will set him apart. So right now it's giving me a couple of different options here for a a summary at the top. So let's see, we'll skim these and see. Hopefully everyone can see my screen well enough. I just noticed that it may be a little bit small for some folks. Let's see. I don't really like this first line, but sometimes I blend some of these. So, comp sci graduate who started doing SOC monitoring and investigations work before being hired, built a home sim, pairing it with some of this other stuff. Um, Backed the lab up with hands-on blue team level 1 certification, CompTIA Security Plus, and 64 tri-hack me rooms of SOC analyst fundamentals, software development background in Python, SQL, REST APIs, adds most entry-level analysts cannot offer the ability to build the dashboards, log processing scripts, and automation that make a SOC queue move faster. That's kind of a little fun flair at the end, much better than the other one, right? Let's see what else we have here. SOC comp sci graduate who pairs SOC fundamentals with a developer's ability to build what the team needs. I love that one. That one sounds great, actually. Um, and I like how it's kind of put his background and given that as his flair. Like that's his differentiator, and it's leaning into that. So this could be a good one. Train hands-on through Blue Team Level 1 practical certification, CompTIA Security Plus, and 64 try-hack me rooms of SOC analyst fundamentals. Then went further by building a Wazoo sim lab with a hard and active directory environment, blah, blah, blah. Python, SQL, and REST API experience from a software engineering degree translates directly into SOC dashboards, log parsing automation in small internal tools, ready to bring the builder's mindset to a 24/7 queue. So this one's actually pretty close. I think most of it's pretty good. It starts getting kind of weak starting here, but we can blend and play with stuff. I'll say, I like this part. Let's see what the other one here says. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. A software developer background in Python, SQL, REST API means the SOC gets an analyst who can also build dashboards for automations, ready to apply all of it on a real queue. Not super excited about how some of these end, but again, we're almost done with the live stream. Um, but I'll do this up and trying to think how I will share it. Maybe I'll put it into the community. How about that? Yeah. I'll put the summary in the community if anyone else wants to kind of see what I ended up with after the stream is over. You can check it out there. This tool, the skill is actually in my Git repository. So let me grab that and I'll drop it in chat really quick. And this is where all my tools are going as well. This is also where the SOC analyst course materials are going to be as well. So here we go. But does everyone see how Um, what I mean by spending some time, it doesn't really take a lot with chat to build something that sounds good, right? None of this sounds like ChatGPT or Claude wrote it. It sounds like, someone taking their time actually wrote this thing. So if you're afraid of all the M dashes and all the funky wording, it's not the tool, it's you and the way you're using it. So just fine tune the way you're using it, fine tune your skills that you have in there and all of that. And the output will be much higher quality, more human sounding, which is what we want. We don't want, what do they call it? AI slop, I think is the fun word there. But yeah, and this is exactly what I do with my resumes. I just iterate, work with it, say, hey, I like this part. I don't like this part. I want to change this part. And I'm trying to read it like the hiring manager. Will they stop and be like, oh, I want to interview this person if I put this in here? If not, it needs to change. We got a comment here from KSJ says, Mike, do you mind showing us how to access the skill so we can work on polishing our resumes? Yeah. So each of the um, each of the tools, so Claude and ChatGPT have what's like a skill building skill, and you can just take the one from my Git repository and say, "Hey, turn this into a skill in whatever this platform is. Hey, I want you to take this skill." And then as you're using it, you just say, "Use my resume skill," or whatever you called it to do this thing. And as you're tweaking and getting better and you're making it like your own, right? I very much hope that everyone's doesn't look exactly like mine. I hope you tune it for you. You're going to say, "Hey, I want you to tune that skill for this," right? I want these guardrails in place so that the output is more consistently what I want. Like with mine, I'm working to get the summary a little bit better, more perfect each like much with what's the word, much less iterations, right? I don't want to have to spend 10 iterations to get a good summary. It should be pretty close there within 2 or 3. So I'm fine tuning the skill so that it's more accurate. But KSJ, let me know in the community this week if you have trouble integrating it, but you should just be able to hop in chat and say, I need you to turn this into a skill. Should be that simple. Just paste it in there and say, use this to create a skill based off of this. And that's it. Pretty simple. All right. So we're going to stop this and I'm going to talk about, because we're already over time. Sorry about that, folks. If you have places to be, this will be recorded so you can go back and check it out later. Just FYI. If you want to stop and take some notes later on, feel free to rewatch it. It helps with the watch time. Hey, doesn't hurt my feelings. Um, what we're going to suggest, if it shares it, there we go. This is what we're going to suggest to him. So, roadmap for Bruno. We're going to say, provide more details on your project, more details on your project, focused on security work. Then we want to, I would also suggest with your studies, do a junior pen test course. Sounds like you might like this anyways off your things. Let's go in here. I'm going to give him a link because I want to make sure he has everything he needs. So paths, we want, I don't suggest a pen test plus if anyone is asking about that. I don't think that's that great, but this course. So do a junior pen tester course. So that's this. And it sounds like it's a lot, but I'm telling you, it's really, really good to have this background. If you've gotten your SOC stuff, fundamentals out of the way, which he has, try your hand at some of this stuff. Learn how an attacker works. Get into their mindset. It will be a game changer for you. I absolutely promise. So look at all this cool stuff, web applications. I can't tell you how many junior analysts suck at web investigations. They're horrible. They're horrible at them. So it'd be great if you came in the door and knew what you were doing. Um, Password attacks. Most analysts don't understand how password cracking works. It's a shame. So a lot of really good stuff in here. A lot of really good stuff. Put that in here. And with that, we'll say start using resume skill and tune each tune resume for each role. I would also create a master resume of all the courses you've done. Oh, sorry, can't see. Can I make this come up? There we go. That works. Resume of all courses. Create a resume of all courses and projects and THM challenges. Let's resume skill select most applicable. So the big thing here is, and we'll summarize this and get it going for get everyone back to their families, right? The big thing is Bruno's almost there. He's got a resume. It needs some love. It may have been the way it was formatted, may have been screwing with the ATS systems. So I need to put that on here too. Make sure to use an ATS friendly version. And so we want to make sure it's ATS safe. We want to tune it for each job listing. We want to make sure our summary is killer for each job listing. And then we want to, with our free time, as we're studying, we want to start learning some of those offensive skills so that we can add it to this resume and kind of round it out. I have dev skills. I have SOC analyst skills. I have offensive security skills. Hire me. You're great. You'd be a great candidate. You're already a pretty solid candidate. It seems like, as long as you're actually intentionally learning and all of that, you should be really good. So with that, if you want to be considered for a SOC analyst makeover, make sure you submit your application on the site, and I will drop it in chat one more time. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. We'll drop it in chat one more time. Make sure you submit it. We will do this once a month. And not only do you get this, so an hour of me working through your resume, talking through your stuff, creating a roadmap for you, creating a new resume for you, but I will be following up to make sure he has what he needs to be successful in answering any questions. So a lot of one-on-one time, a lot of personal time to make sure he gets to break into the industry, right? So it's a really good opportunity for folks. Don't miss out. So here it is. It's in chat. Another thing too, if you're not in the community, make sure you join the community because we're doing really, really cool stuff. Let me get the link to the community as well, really, really quick. It signed me out. Dang it. I'll get it and just look at any of my YouTube videos. The community is in all of those links. Let me see. She just put that in. But yep, look in there. I put it in every single one of the descriptions in my videos. So it should be pretty easy to find. I need to just create a list so that I can just copy and paste out of it every show. Join, participate in the community. We're going to start selecting. So starting next week, if you've been participating in the community, we're going to select one random person for me to have a one-on-one time with. So maybe 30 minutes or an hour. We'll see how much time I can devote to it. But with that, this has been the InfosecWizard live stream. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bruno, for being open to let me do this live on the stream. I'll reach out to you with all this stuff I've developed and handed off, and we'll have another conversation later. We will see you next week on the InfoSec Wizard stream. And yeah, take care. Happy hunting.